Hi guys and ladies, Ramsey here. Welcome to another video. Today I have a first impression, early impression for you, and a first impression of a very expensive niche fragrance. And so before I get started, I just want to say thank you to everybody who watched my entire collection video. I will never do that again, by the way. That is a one and done thing. That took me forever, and my back hurts from bending over, and my throat hurts from talking for 3 hours straight. But to those of you who watched it, I really hope that, it took something away. It's not something I just snapped my fingers and collected all these bottles. Obviously, everyone was asking me, how long have you been collecting? I've been doing it now for over a decade, but really got heavy into it over the last 4 to 5 years, I would say. So again, it's not a lifetimes of work or anything, but it is year over year over year. It adds up because it's just too expensive of a hobby to, when you get into this, you don't want to go from 0 bottles to hundreds of bottles at once. That's not really what you want to do, because if you do that, what you'll find is you start collecting the fragrances that maybe as your tastes evolve, you don't want anymore. Maybe you'll give them away, or maybe you'll end up selling them at a loss compared to what you paid for it, or whatever it may be. So you want to do a lot of sampling. You want to trust your nose. Don't trust people on YouTube. Trust me. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm doing this channel, and that's one of the reasons I'm doing first impressions on fragrances like this. This is a very expensive niche fragrance called Xerjoff Symphonium. And I only own one Xerjoff scent. It's called Xerjoff Homme. It's from 2007, and it's a very close take on something like Nietzsche 10. A leather scent. I love my leather scents, and that's the only reason why I own that one. Because it fits my personality and my profile and my love. It's the only Xerjoff I own, and I don't own the full presentation. I own the refill bottle because I don't care about the full presentation. I'm not putting them on Instagram or flexing on folks or whatever the kids use nowadays. I'm not stunting on folks. I'm just loving the juice, and that's what I'm here for. Now, what I've done, I've had this juice for a very long time, actually, but I've never smelled it. I've never sprayed it until just recently. And the reason is that I have accumulated over the years those Lucky Scent dabber samples, which I absolutely abhor. I hate those things. I won't use them. So what I'll do is, if I build up 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, if I get the same scent sent to me over and over and over, I will aggregate them into a spray. Now, I got these cheap little sprayers on Amazon, and I regret it because these are absolutely atrocious. So I ordered some better ones today, but I just wanted something, small. I didn't want to use one of my good 10 ml sprayers for 3, 4 ml worth of juice, but I also didn't want to dab it on. I wanted to spray. So that's the long story short. So that's why it's taking me a while to test this scent. This scent came out, so there's some conflicting information. I think I know the correct answer, but the scent came out in 2015, according to Parfumo. It was in the original Xerjoff bottles, which I actually like, the square ones, with the exact same cap that they are still using, but the bottle was more square. And then they changed it to the more rounded bottle. If you go to Parfumo, you'll see the 2 pictures of the 2 different bottles. 2015 is the release date according to Parfumo. According to Fragrantica, the release date is 2020. Now, Symphonium is a scent that was created by Chris Maurice. And Chris Maurice, I think, has done a lot of their fragrances. I don't know because, again, I'm not a big Xerjoff fan. And as you can see, I was actually going to take some notes on this fragrance, and this is what I got. I got absolutely no notes down. Before I get started, I just want to, let me read you the notes, and I want you in the comments to tell me whether you think I will love or hate this fragrance, okay? Spanish Mandarin orange and Italian orange at the top. Indian cardamom and Belgian chocolate in the mid. The base is white musk, bourbon vanilla, Laotian oud, and Thai oud. Okay, that's according to Parfumo. Fragrantica has very similar notes. Orange, mandarin orange, chocolate, cardamom, Madagascar, vanilla, Laotian oud, Thailand oud, and musk. So, let me know before I get started on this whether you think I'm going to love or hate this fragrance, okay? If some of you know my taste, you probably have an inkling as to how this review is going to go. But I did want to be fair. I don't want to just bash and destroy a fragrance. However, I don't know any other way to go about this review. This is probably one of the worst fragrances I have ever smelled in my life, ever. It is absolutely atrocious. It is probably not worth $10. I can't believe they sell it for $300 or $350 or whatever Xerjoff's pricing is. I just did a fresh spray, and it literally smells of synthetic sweetness. And do you guys remember there was a chocolate orange that my mother used to give me around, I think it was around Christmas and Easter time. Let me look this up. Chocolate orange. Terry's. Okay. So it's called Terry's chocolate orange. And if you know Terry's chocolate orange, that's basically what you get, but with some of the most cheap synthetic sweetness I've ever smelled in my life. Now, if Xerjoff says there's real oud in this, take them at their word, because if they say it, it must be true. But there is no way my nose would ever pick out that. If you said, hey Ramsey, try and pick out the notes of Symphonium, I would never in a million years pick out oud. It's used, if there is real oud here, it's probably used to kind of try to hold everything together, but it's not doing a very good job. It's doing a very shite job, to be honest with you. It is supposed to be an oud gourmand, okay? That's what this fragrance is supposed to be. And this is my problem. This is the problem that I have with modern fragcom and modern fragrances. As you can see, I have a ton of fragrances. I have niche, I have designers, I have vintage, I have discontinued, I have cheap. I have fragrances as that cost me as little as $7. Lamani Pour Homme cost me $7. And I have Diaghilev, which is a 1,000-pound fragrance. So it goes all over the place, right? And I've smelled a lot, and this is why you have to get your nose on a lot of things. I was reading some Fragrantica comments, and I have to chuckle a little bit when I read some of these comments. I mean, some of the people on there must be somewhat new to fragrances. There's no other way to describe it. You know, some of the comments on Fragrantica make me chuckle, because it's like the best opening I've ever smelled. The stinky oud comes in and really hits your nose, unless the only thing I can think of that is a possibility, and maybe I'll give Xerjoff the benefit of the doubt, is if Lucky Scent mislabeled my samples, because I did pour 3-4 of the same labeled sample into this vial. They were all labeled Symphonium by Xerjoff. So unless Lucky Scent mislabeled one or two and it mixed in and created this mishmash of notes, which I seriously doubt, then this is why I have such a problem with modern niche, because they are selling this in a fancy bottle with some sort of fancy marble stone on the front, and they're selling it for whatever. I don't even know what the price of this fragrance is. Is it $350? I think it's $350 for 100 ml, or $420 new sealed. That is absolute insanity. They should be ashamed of themselves. Honestly, they should be ashamed of themselves to charge that much. They should be embarrassed at themselves. It's so bad. It smells like you took some sort of, you know what it smells like? It smells like you know, the wood cleaning spray. Like if I was going to clean this new cabinet that I got, you would spray it down with that wood clean spray that comes in the can. You know that orange synthetic cleaning agent smell? That's what you get. You get this synthetic orange cleaning agent that there's no other way to say it than it smells cheap. It smells cheap and sweet. And so I would imagine this would appeal to maybe somebody who's 20 years old, maybe like a girl who's 20 years old who, you know, has daddy's credit card and just sees the price tag and instantly thinks that it's expensive, so it must be good. And that is a mistake that people make. That's a mistake that I made early in my journey. I used to collect only Creeds and Amouage because they were expensive. Because I thought, I want the best fragrances in the world, and I'm going to just buy the most expensive niche stuff that I can. And it was only about after 5 years of doing that I realized there's a whole nother world out there. You know, there's the Balenciaga Pour Hommes, there's the Azzaro Pour Hommes, there's the Lagerfeld Classic Cologne. There's all that stuff that I would miss if I only stuck with expensive niche. And the thing that bothers me about modern Fragcom is, I'm not going to name any names, but there are many of the top reviewers who I'm sure did not pay for their bottles that have this in a list, a top 10 list. Most succulent gourmand list fragrances, most amazing niche oud fragrances lists. And, you know, it's a little bothersome to me because, you know, there's nobody out there who is, there's nobody out there that is looking out for the regular consumer. You know, they get the bottle. By the way, look what I found when I was cleaning stuff out. Tell me this doesn't look like Peter from Fragrance Views deal. This is not his, by the way. I don't know where I got this. I think someone gave this to me from Egypt. It's actually really cool. Maybe I'll put it back there. But I also found this. So at the end of the video, I can just give you guys a cheers without having to do it myself. Just cheers. But, you know, there's nobody looking out for the normal person. They're salesmen. That's what these brands have turned into. They've turned into salesmen because they want the bottle. And, you know, all of these I bought my own with my own money. And so I reserve the right to say whatever I want about it. And I'm not beholden to these brands. And that's the niche that I want to be in. I want to be the person that can say good or bad things about a fragrance. And this is shite. This is absolutely terrible. The quality of this is, honestly, the $7 Lomani Pour Homme that I own is better quality than this. I mean, it is absolutely atrocious. And I can't for the life of me understand how they can sell this for $420 or $350 or whatever it is. You know, I'm not bashing Xerjoff to bash them. And you know, what bothers me about some of these niche houses like this is that I look at some of their releases, right? And I'm going through Fragrantica and I'm looking, and you see that in 2021 they've released like 10 or 20 fragrances in 1 year. They just have release after release after release, and not just Xerjoff. A lot of niche houses are starting to do this. They're just pumping out one after the other, because it's a numbers game at this point. They send out enough bottles, enough reviewers put them on lists, and of that list, they probably have a certain percentage that they know that will sell. And so at this point, they're not doing it for the love of fragrances. They're doing it as a numbers game and a money grab. And that really bothers me. This really made me angry today. I was kind of pissed off that I was wearing this all day. Like, I feel like I'm better than this. Like, I should be wearing something else. All of my bottles, and I'm testing this. And it really angered me today. Because you get a Xerjoff, or whatever brand it is. It could be Roja, it could be Amouage, it could be Creed, it could be Parfums de Marly. You get one of these high-end niche brands, and you expect to smell something amazing, right? You expect to smell the highest quality ingredients, the best perfumers, the best notes, the best ingredients, you know, the best blend. And this is the exact opposite of that. This almost shocked me with how terrible it is. Shocked me with how awful it is. It is not for somebody as a fragrance connoisseur, definitely. This is maybe for somebody who just wants to smell something sweet, and they can tell their friends they have an oud fragrance. Maybe there is oud in here. I mean, like I said, if Xerjoff claims there's real oud, which I don't know if they do, but if somebody knows whether they do or not, please let me know in the comments. But if they claim there's real oud, then there's real oud in here. But there's a lot of different ways to use real oud. You can use it as a backbone to a fragrance and not have that oud smell. So this is a gourmand, sweet, you know, oud in the background, let's say, that is just for somebody who wants to smell sweet and who wants to smell and tell their friends that they have oud. You know, this is an oud fragrance. It is not for the connoisseurs or the fragrance lovers, so it's probably not going to be, if you're watching this channel, this is probably not for you. I don't give ratings, but if I gave this a rating, I think I would give this about a 0. It is that bad. It is absolutely horrendous. It might be, you know, if I made a shockingly terrible list, this and Creed Viking Cologne, not the original Creed Viking. I like the original Creed Viking. But Creed Viking Cologne and this would be very close to the top of the list. And I think they both came out in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, 2021. This came out in 2015, apparently. But maybe the older bottles were better. Maybe this is a bad reformulation. I don't know enough about Xerjoff to speak that deeply into it. But I will say that I am deeply, deeply disappointed. And this is a prime example of why I only own one Xerjoff fragrance. So, I mean, I'm sorry that I was so harsh on this fragrance. There honestly is nothing good that I can say about it. I've got the dry down here, and I've got a fresh spray here, and there's literally nothing good that I could say about it. I mean, maybe even if you wanted to smell like chocolate, I would probably say maybe go test one of Acro's fragrances. They have a chocolate fragrance. You know, wear Coromandel, that's a white chocolate fragrance. You know, there's so many better options that you could wear, even if you did want to smell like chocolate, like sweet chocolate. And you guys know I don't like sweet fragrances, so maybe I am just, you know, maybe if you gave this to someone who likes sweet fragrances, like someone like Joy Amin, or not bashing him or anything, but I know he likes sweet fragrances and I don't. And so maybe if you give this to someone who likes sweet fragrances, they would like it. But for me, this is a pass. I even want to throw the rest of this out and not spray it. It's that bad. But I appreciate you watching. I hope you can appreciate that this channel is going to be about good reviews. Go watch my Pietra alla Scala first impression and compare it to this. You know, it is night and day difference. So this channel is going to be about both good reviews and bad reviews. And I think most people nowadays just aren't used to that because all they hear is good reviews. Everyone loves everything. They get a bottle and, oh, it's the best thing ever. You know, put it in the top 10 list because they want to sell more and get more bottles. That's not why I'm doing this channel. And that's kind of the antithesis of why I want to do this channel. So I hope you can appreciate that. I'm sorry I was a little rough on this fragrance, but honestly, it is deserved. If you've smelled this, let me know if you agree with me. number one. Number two, let me know if you like my background. I spent a lot of time and actually money building this barn door cabinet with the sliding doors. The doors closed to keep the light off the fragrances, which I thought was cool. So this is going to be my new office, my new setup, and I do always appreciate you guys watching. I thought I was going to have a package today, but it's actually not coming for another week, so that was kind of a bummer. So I should have a couple packages in 2 weeks. I should have one surprise package and one from Rich Mitch. So anyways, I really appreciate you watching my initial impressions of Xerjoff Symphonium. And do let me know your thoughts below. I love seeing your faces and your comments. And oh yeah, we'll do this. Cheers. Bye guys. Peace.